thought there were some good things that we can build on, and you know, I'd first like to say the reason that we play Colorado School of Mines is because they're well coached, they're disciplined, they've got good players, and I've got great respect for their team and their coach. And I think it's really good for us as players and as coaches to see how another team plays. And I thought they did a great job of coming off screens ready to shoot. They played inside out. The post guys scored over. We dug on the post and didn't see our man and our ball. They hit threes on us. So we can learn a lot from a game like this. And close scrimmages are nice, but to get in front of fans, there was some nerves, there was some rust that I think some of our guys were feeling. It's good to kind of get that out of our system, so to speak. But obviously, I'm happy that we don't open up until November the 13th. We got 10 more days to get better and improve upon some things. But in the second half, we played much better, especially defensively, and some guys started making some plays. But we didn't shoot the ball well all day, which we got to figure out how to win when you do that. And our guys figured that out in the second half.
No further questions?
Coach, no Dallas Walton today, obviously. What did you like, or what did you expect from some of the big men?
Well, look, I mean, Tyler, we know is an effective player. We know Lucas has gotten better, and I thought he played well today. Evans struggled a little bit shooting the ball. We knew there was going to be some rust on Evans' game, but we've seen the Evan Batty we've seen in the first 20 practices. That wasn't the Evan Batty you saw tonight. So I'm not too concerned as long as we stay healthy in the post. The one thing we don't have is we don't have that 7-foot rim protector. And I think you saw, their post guys, no disrespect, they're good players, but they kind of shook us and scored over us. So our post defense has got to get better. We've got to keep the ball out of there because we don't have that tall, athletic shot blocker that Dallas is. So we got to play a little smarter in front of the post and keep it out of there. But overall, I thought Tyler played well. One thing Tyler can do is block shots, and he did that tonight.
Shot over 40% from beyond the arc. How do you?
Yeah. Well, listen. Our three-point field goal percentage defense shot 50% in the first half. Something we've really talked about, we've worked on. We have a goal of limiting them to 6 per game. I think I've got to maybe get the per game part into our players' heads, not 6 per half. Okay, and I think they're thinking 6 per half right now. 6 per game. So we've got to get better at that. There's no doubt about it. And it's something we've talked about, we've worked on, but tonight, again, playing against a team like Mines, who we did a good job in that second half until the very end. They rattled off 3 or 4 of them right on us in a row. What our players have to understand is it doesn't matter who you're playing. There's a lot of good basketball players in this world. Some of them are playing at the Division II level. And we saw a couple of them tonight. Again, Mines is going to win a lot of games this year. And we're going to play against teams that are bigger, taller, more athletic. And when we do, we better figure some things out. But we may not play against a team that really executes, certainly, especially this time of year, the way those guys were out there tonight. So it's a great opportunity for our players to learn from them in a lot of different areas.
What do you think your players can do learning about how Mines defended the perimeter tonight?
Well, they can learn that it's harder to defend the perimeter when the ball moves. It's easier to defend the perimeter when it's bounced, and our guys bounce it a little bit too much, everybody. And McKinley had 8 assists and no turnovers. Obviously, we'll take that every night. But we've got to bounce the ball less on offense and move the ball more, because that's what Mines was doing. That's why they're a little more difficult to guard than we were. Again, we've got taller, longer, more athletic guys, but they got good basketball players that know how to play. That's what we're trying to teach our players. We didn't run one play tonight, and that was by design. We wanted to run our half-court offense, our half-court defense. We ran 1 or 2 traps on defense the whole night. We wanted to play, hey, let's see how good we are, where we need to get better. You can scout plays, you can take plays away from people, if you know how to play, it's hard for teams to guard you. And we're trying to figure that out. We're in the infancy stages of that.
Were the turnovers concerning in the first half, and then the other side of that, obviously, turned it around after halftime?
Yeah, absolutely. We had 8 at halftime, 11 for the game. 11's our number. We want 11 or less, so we hit that. But if we can play turnover, 3 turnovers in the first half like we had in the second half, now we got 6 for the game. Now you can really crank it up a little bit. But I thought, yeah, our turnovers in the second half were much more. We can live with that number for sure. The first half was too many. We had 5 assists, 8 turnovers in the first half. We got to flip that around. We had 8 assists and 5 turnovers. But 11 for the game we can live with. Again, our players can learn from second half versus first half. Why we had success in the second half, why we didn't have success in the first half. Taking care of the ball was part of that. Guarding the ball was another part of that. Guarding screens.
Coach, are you going to end up shuffling around the lineup a lot, or is what we saw tonight going to be
I don't
the
know.
starting
That's
five?
good. That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. Again, I've seen the way Evan is practiced. He didn't play exceptionally well tonight offensively, but I've seen how he's practiced. So I feel like Evan Batty and Tyler Bay and Lucas Seaward, I feel like we got 3 starters right there. Now we're using those as kind of a 3-man rotation to post. Alex Strading, I think you saw tonight, comes in and gives us some really solid minutes as that 4th post guy. And there's going to be times this year when we need Alex. And then on the perimeter, McKinley and Deshaun, the way they've practiced, have solidified themselves as starters, I think. Again, that's fluid as the year goes. And guys will play themselves into the lineup or out of the lineup, depending on how they practice and how they play in the games. And we've had 3 opportunities now. We've had the SMU scrimmage, we've had the inter-squad, now we've had the Mines. We'll combine all 3 of those when we look at what's happening in practice. And, there's still some question marks on this team when it comes to who's going to be first guy off the bench, who's going to be the second guy off the bench. We're going to play big, we're going to play small. We'll see as this thing kind of plays itself out.
Ted, for the learning curve for Evan, being that he's now an above the rim kind of guy, is that learning to play against those longer, more athletic bigs kind of that curve he's on?
Absolutely, and Mark, I think tonight, he felt like, okay, against the Mines post guys, I can score over them. And Evan is a below the rim guy. That's okay. He almost got a dunk there in transition, so he can get above the rim. But consistently, he's a below the rim guy, which is fine. There's a lot of guys that are, Paul Millsap, for the Denver Nuggets is a below the rim guy, but he knows how to score, knows how to use his body. That's how I see Evan kind of evolving for us. And it's almost easier when you're playing taller, more athletic guys because they want to block shots. Well, the Mines defenders, they're pretty solid, and he couldn't score over them tonight. And again, part of that may be Russian. He's excited, he's nervous, he's got all these emotions running through him. I mean, imagine the emotions running through that kid's mind and veins, as he took the court tonight. So we'll see. Again, I see it in practice. I know what I want to see as a coach, obviously, is I want to see the same guy in the games as I see in practice. But in Evan's case, I'm going to cut him a little slack because he has been off and he's got a lot of things that he's dealing with, but he'll be fine. I'm not worried. I'm really not worried about Evan. This is one game, one exhibition game, but is an opportunity for him to learn as well, I think, too.
It's getting close. They're down, they cut it back down to 4 or 5.
Yeah.
McKinley, right, all of a sudden just takes charge. And
Yeah.
Is that what you have to have from him in that last 6-8 minute stretch of a game where he just
We've
takes
seen
charge?
that from McKinley, absolutely. What I'd like to see from our team is that sense of urgency, if you will, that McKinley played with down the stretch. Be there from the jump. And I'm not saying it's not, it's just, he's got a lot of things on his plate as well. I think McKinley Wright and Evan Batty both put a lot of responsibility on him. But I want to see that from McKinley from the get-go and for 40 minutes. And easier said than done. Basketball's a game of runs, and other teams are going to make runs at us. I try to make the game plan as simple as possible. I didn't want our guys thinking tonight. I wanted them playing tonight. And, offensively, we wanted to take care of the ball, which we did in the second half. We wanted to get great shots. for the most part, I thought we did. We took maybe, I think, half a dozen bad shots. I'll kind of grade it out when I watch the film. So take care of the ball, take great shots on offense, and defensively, we want to contest every shot and limit them to 1. And you know, they got 7 offensive rebounds, so I don't know if we're going to shut anybody out on offensive rebounds, but that's all I wanted our players thinking about, and then playing as hard as they could running the floor, which I thought we did a good job of.
Is that the perfect team to play in an exhibition? Very disciplined.
Perfect.
Just do exactly what they're told.
Absolutely. Disciplined, well coached, tough. They're going to, again, mark my words, Mines, again, if they stay healthy like we all have to do, they're going to win a lot of games this year in their league and even in their non-league. So it's a perfect game for us, and our players can learn, hey, if we can execute like them and play from the neck up like Mines. One thing you know about Mines guys is they're smart, right? You know that. They're smart kids, and they wouldn't be at Mines if they weren't. So if our players can learn to play from the neck up like those kids do, and we have the athleticism and I think the skill, which I think, again, we're a better shooting team than we showed tonight. We're 4 for 16 from 3. You know, every night it's not going to be like that, I hope. But if we can play from the neck up like those guys with our athleticism and play with their discipline, we got a chance to be really, really good. But it's an opportunity to learn. That's what these games are all about.
We didn't see Del Brown tonight. Was he injured or anything?
No, the coach's decision on Dell. Coach's decision.
Anything else for Coach?
Okay, thank you.
We'll be in shortly.